how do you prioritize the right service stack for your clients? Now we're beginning to kind of really get into the meat of this about on the planning side of things.
Well, I will say that in firms, not in sole proprietorships, but in firms, there's generally a difference of opinion as to how you're going to get there. So we recommend doing a visioning statement for the firm. What does the firm want to be, do, have, create, and experience over the next 5 years? This sounds pretty simple, but when you get different owners or different people involved, there are different opinions, and they may not all agree how to get there, but this is a way to evaluate and develop a shared vision. So that's step number one. Then step number two is put a plan together and hold people accountable. If you're going to change results, the fastest way to go from R1 to R2 is through accountability. So you have to have a plan and have assignments to people, due dates, and then actually hold them accountable. So I think that's how you get this started in firms. The other big thing that I would say with services, go to your very best clients, the 20% of the 100%, and ask them what they want plus what they need. And people will pay more for wants than they will for needs. And the number one want of all small business today is transformation. So while we say the firm is being transformed, really the clients are looking for leadership from their accountants to be more than technical advisors and truly be trusted advisors that will help them transform their business so they can sustain success and be future ready. And there's a big fear out there, not only in accounting firms, but with their clients, of in the disruptive world of technology today, will I be relevant in 3 to 5 years? Will I be able to maintain the lifestyle and the income that I have? So I think that's how you do it, but it takes conversations, and many times accountants prefer to go to their office and solve a problem rather than talk to clients about what they're feeling and what their vision really is. So we've developed some tools to help with those conversations and get them started.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that I would add to that, Seth, is that this also speaks to specialization and verticals, and not so much the full service firm mentality that most firms currently have because they take all comers. But I think the ability to specialize and have particular verticals that you support actually will help you become that trusted advisor and really be seen as an expert, to where you can go really deep with the client around your expertise and what you're learning from other clients in that same space. So being able to share those best practices back to that high value client that you have is really a future differentiator that we're excited to present in a client advisory services format. I mean, the ability for them to start to put out blog posts and articles and white papers and share that with the clients and their future potential clients is really a key to them taking their accounting firm to the next level and really making a difference in transforming their clients' businesses.
Yeah, thought leadership is important.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about and this will wrap up this section of questioning. What within the CAS program that Sage is now offering in tandem with Boomer would you point to as the most useful in relation to establishing the right menu of services?
That's an excellent question, and one that I would start off by making sure our listeners understand this is not an or proposition. This is an and proposition of how to continue to package your existing core services like bookkeeping, like tax compliance, auditing, and package those with advisory and consulting services that are higher value and people really want. And by doing that, you can prolong your margins with those compliance services, plus you can add additional services like strategic planning, which is one of my first items on the agenda and our menu. By doing a strategic plan, an accountant could virtually probably find 4 to 5 times the services they're offering with the client, because often the clients will go out and hire someone else not knowing that their accountant does anything other than tax or audit work. And accountants today have knowledge in their firms of technology. The good ones have project management skills, how to grow their business. And these services actually have more value than some of the compliance in the eyes of the consumer or client. And I think oftentimes we try to make our menu of services more complex than it really needs to be. And just asking the right question and then listening to the client will tell you probably what ought to be there.
And the thing that I would add to that, Seth, is it's actually the data is still the foundation, and that's exciting and important for our listeners to know, is that they're already experts with the data. It's just taking it to a much deeper conversation rather than handing off a financial statement and pointing out what numbers would be important to their business owner. They can actually go deep into a conversation and really get down to the nuts and bolts of the key things that are going to be most important to that business to grow. So that menu of services, that's all based on data and you just extracting more and more knowledge to feed back to the client. So you can pick through a menu of services that may be best for the verticals that you choose. So there's a lot of different directions, and you don't have to do it all at once. The menu of services can grow over time, especially as you grow organically through this client advisory services. So really excited about that question, and thank you for asking that.
Thank you, guys.
CFO services, Seth. Those are so important. And the CFOs that are really in demand now are ones that are not focusing their data analytics on accuracy and the integrity of the data, but focusing on predictive and prescriptive use of that data. And the value just is much more exponential in value than it is if you're looking historically. And I know as accountants, we've been trained in historical costs and the history, but we really need to be looking out of the front of the car and not out of the rear view mirror.
Absolutely. And, I use an accountant as well, and I've brought different business ideas to him. And he usually, almost every time, he tries to talk me out of it. And really, it's because accountants are experts in managing risk, right? And the interesting mindset shift that you need is that don't let risk hold you back, because this is actually something to catapult your business. And the data, as I suggested earlier with the AI CPA, is that this is a very lucrative area to be in. So you don't need to manage risk on this area as much, because there's so much opportunity to really make a difference. At the end of the day, your clients are passionate about what they do. And guess what? You have an opportunity through this client advisory services program to find some passion around what you do. Like I said earlier, there's people getting set to do 70 hours a week. You don't have to do that if you start to build out this client advisory services. Those hours will come down over time.